Hi, home cooks! Today I'm in the kitchen making a tomato rice pilaf.
This bold and flavorful herb tomato and chickpea rice pilaf is an easy one-pot recipe that's nourishing and satisfying. This recipe is hearty enough to stand on its own as a delicious meat-free meal, but it also pairs perfectly as a vibrant side dish to grilled chicken or fish.
Earthy, soft chickpeas, aromatic rice cooked in a bright tomato and herb sauce. This pilaf is perfect for busy weeknights or serving to dinner guests with its rustic charm and irresistible flavor. I actually used to make this recipe almost weekly for dinner when I worked in a restaurant years ago. It's super easy to prepare, warm, hearty, and full of flavor.
So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make an herb tomato and chickpea rice pilaf.
The first thing I need to do for this recipe is rinse and drain 1 can of chickpeas, or you can prepare the same amount of dried chickpeas. I'm just going to set these aside to drain while I get on with the recipe. I'm going to open 1 can of diced tomatoes, which I'm going to puree into a smooth sauce. You could also use fresh tomatoes for this, but using canned makes this recipe super quick and easy. Now in a large Dutch oven or a large deep pan on medium-high heat, add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to add in 1 minced shallot and fry, stirring occasionally until translucent. You can replace this with 1 onion if that's what you have on hand. I just happen to be obsessed with this milder flavor, and that's what I have in my kitchen. Then to the pan, add in 3 cloves of minced garlic and fry along with the shallot for 1 to 2 minutes or until it's just starting to color. Add in 1 cup of dried rice and stir to coat it in the oil and fry for 1 to 2 minutes more. The rice is going to get completely coated and just start to soak up the oil before we're going to add anything else to the pan. First, I'm going to add in the pureed tomatoes and stir this into the rice along with 1 cup of water. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons or 1 sprig of fresh rosemary that I'm going to roughly dice. You can easily remove the little leaves from the rosemary by turning the sprig upside down and running your fingers along the stem, and the little leaves should pop right off. Cover the pot, reduce the heat, and cook the rice for the time according to the package direction. I'm using a wild rice blend today, but I've also used long grain rice and arborio rice for this recipe, and they all come out amazing. About 5 minutes before the rice is supposed to be done, I'm going to remove the lid, test for doneness, and stir in the can of chickpeas. Season with salt and pepper, and then to avoid the moisture from dripping from the pan lid onto the rice, I'm going to place a kitchen towel on top of the pan before adding on the lid. Remove from the heat and allow the chickpeas to heat through in the pan. And this vibrant rice pilaf is ready to serve. Make sure to scrape all of the slightly crisp and caramelized rice from the bottom of the pan onto the platter before serving. This is the best part of the rice pilaf in my opinion, and is the perfect texture and toasty flavor. This tomato rice pilaf is an easy one-pot recipe that's as nourishing as it is flavorful. It's so easy to prepare, warm, hearty, and full of flavor when you're ready to relax after a long day of work. I'm not even sure where this recipe originated, but the combination of tomatoes and rosemary always transports me back to that time. And as always, you can find a link to the full written recipe in the description box below. Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks for stopping by.